Welcome back to the Market Wolf. If you're new, please think about subscribing, sharing, and liking the video, as that keeps me going here at the Market Wolf, gives me positive encouragement, and makes me want to keep doing what I'm doing so we can both learn and grow together as we make money together. So let's get into the S&P 500, the UVXY, and also VIX, as that's what we mostly cover here. And the first thing I want to point out to you is my small victory for today. Okay, not to boast, but this is what happened, and the market went exactly the way that I called it. And so I just want to point out that when we opened, I told you we were going to have a pedestrian bounce all the way up to, we didn't get exactly where I wanted to go. Oh my goodness, no. We didn't get exactly to where I wanted to go. I was hoping we came short. I was thinking at most we would hit that 446 and then we would bounce down. The market didn't move with the velocity I expected, but it certainly hit the points that I expected. So we almost wicked up there, rejected by the 100-day, and then we came right on down to my target that I told you all was at most, at least we were going to get to 43665, and I called it on the nose. And now the question is, where do we go from there? First of all, I want to say this. Those of you that made money today and you've been listening to me, congratulations. I'm grateful for you. If you'd like to think about sending me a donation, I'd be grateful for that. You can look in the description box for sure. But my real point is this, is that, look, anybody can get lucky. But I called it point to point. On top of that, I would encourage everybody to be careful, have humility, understand that even I can be incorrect, and I have been, and I will be. There was 3 weeks ago, I called the market totally wrong, completely wrong. That's why I always give you the bear and the bull case here at the Market Wolf. So let's get into what's happening tomorrow. What's the bear case? What's the bull case? What are my expectations? Right now, you can see on the 30-minute that we've gotten this bounce. Let's take a trip over to the hour. And I want you to notice on the hour that we have really a lot of increasing exiting volume there. And then on the last hour of the day before close, we have some incoming volume, but it's not great right now. It's not great. You look at the hour as well, and you can see we've really moved into this bearish divergence pretty heavily on the EMAs. Let's take a look at I don't want to do the 4 hour yet. Ooh, I've got the daily. The 4 hour. Okay, well, let's look at the 4 hour, then we'll go back to the 2. The 4 hour, this is important because this is moving us into the daily. And you can see that we also have this bearish divergence occurring on the 4 hour, crossing all three of the EMA lines there, the 20. So this is incredibly bearish. And let's take a look now at the S&P 500 on the daily. And again, you can see this bearish divergence is occurring, although we have not crossed the 50 yet. But we're still in kind of a tangled mess up here, because you have to remember, this cycle started on a bullish divergence that didn't really finish out on the daily. So we're kind of in between there, and that's why we get in these lower time frames some of the flagging, that kind of stuff you're seeing where we flag out. So let's go to the 2 hour. On the 2 hour, if it would go to the 2 hour, there we are, okay. On the 2 hour, we can see quite clearly that we have confirmation on a serious bearish divergence on the EMAs. It is awful. And, it's not looking great. It's not looking great. We've crossed all three. We also have the 50 moving through the 100. Looks like it wants to keep coming down. It looks like, at least on the 2 hour, we've got this confirmation of this major divergence happening here. And remember, back on the rise up, we kept thinking, how high can we go? Why does it keep going so high? Is this ever going to end? And Those divergences can continue. I would say this. So there's a big bearish case right there. Let's talk about a bullish case. We are not overbought on any of the time frames we've been looking at. We're not overbought. However, on the... Where did it go? I probably left it. I did. Let's flip over. On the daily, we are not overbought, but we're not underbought. We're kind of hanging out there. And we haven't really had to test it yet. We're just kind of hanging out. I suspect what we're going to see tomorrow, is some further flagging out where we are right now. We're kind of in the middle of, I think, another pedestrian bounce. We may potentially go back up and test 44219. We may even go a little higher. I suspect we could get rejected by the 20, and then we start to flag out sideways, and then eventually we go down again as we did today. That's kind of how I see things moving tomorrow. As far as how far we go to the bottom, if we actually break through the 4365, okay, you got to remember, we get down on these. People are going to be looking to buy there because they think that might be the bottom, but overall, I still think we have a very bearish narrative in play here, okay, especially even on the daily. So, if we break through 43665, it could be a short and quick move to 43153. That's what I see could happen. Now, from here to there, it's questionable. It's questionable because we may not have a whole trading day to complete that move up and down. It depends. This area is interesting here because we could get some more chop and flagging in there, and it may take a while. Or if the volume from the previous rise up was fluff in here, it may move very quickly. And at any time, we could end up, I think, really, with the way this bearish divergence is going, we could end up with a falling knife at some point, and I would not want to catch that. So be very cautious in your trading tomorrow on the S&P 500. My opinion and what this means for us, let's take a look at the VIX. I would encourage you to go back and look at the first video on the VIX and UVXY because that is so important. Very first video in this series, episode 1. Please go listen to that because that deals with the overall thesis we have going here on the VIX. And you can see so far our thesis is holding up. On top of that, we are now riding this support line up as volatility increases. Remember, we got that bounce off of the $20, and we've also put in a double tap here on 1855, as well as our line up in our symmetrical triangle. Also notice in the past, look at this. Increasing price. Right now we've got price contracting into this symmetrical. And remember the time frame and remember our general thesis for the market for the year. We'll see if this holds true. So far, everything seems to be holding true. We're a little bit overbought on the 2 hour here. We could see some cooling off tomorrow, and that would correlate well with that pedestrian bounce on the S&P 500. And then we might see, from maybe about the 2152 level, 2134, we may see a bounce up from there. At that point, we might see some price action breaking just below this upward trend. So that's what I see on VIX. On UVXY, we really want to see faster drops on the S&P 500. All of this flagging nonsense is keeping us... look, I called it yesterday. I told you we would be in the green on UVXY, and we were. It was a tough day there, though, because of the flagging on the way down. If we don't get enough volatility on VIX, if we don't get the S&P 500 making some very quick moves, some quick action, it's going to be difficult and a painful ride up to the top. If you want to see these highs as before, and we went through that pain here previously as well. So I think tomorrow at most, if we have a lot of flagging, we could see 1491, potentially 1531. I would be hard pressed to say we see past that unless, of course, we hit that falling knife status, and then things can move very quickly. Just like they rip down on UVXY, sometimes they can rip up. So that's always a potential, but I'm just giving you the conservative estimate there. Let's not do anything crazy. Remember, it's very important to manage your money and manage risk. Don't be the guy that goes all in just because the Market Wolf was talking about this on YouTube. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Should you listen to me? No, but you should pay attention to the charts. And of course, I always give you the bear and bull case and my opinion. So be sure to sort those two things out. One other thing I'd mention about UVXY is you do see we have not invalidated this uptrend yet. And this is odd for UVXY. Also, we are on, I know this is the 2 hour, but I'm not going to do it, but I'll just let you know. If you go back to the 30-minute, oh no, wait, we do have it on the 2 hours, as a matter of fact. Oh my goodness, I was thinking about yesterday. We've got confirmation on the bullish divergence on UVXY. So we're getting bullish here, and that's of course because of the other reasons I've spoken to regarding the VIX and the S&P 500. Never try and chart UVXY except for some very basic things. The UVXY, yes, sometimes it will print patterns that are similar to the S&P 500, but it's on those big moves, okay? So pay attention, and I hope you all had a great trading day. I hope we have another good one tomorrow. Please subscribe, share, like, and yeah, it's been good. I'll see you next time on the Market Wolf.